people will make you feel bad for staying longer than you should or just participating in some foolery. And I don't know why people always call other people stupid and dumb. You may have been a little delayed in walking away or not tolerating something anymore, but you are supposed to be a genuine person. You are supposed to be loyal. You are supposed to be good hearted and kind hearted. You are supposed to be all of those things. The issue is that you were being all of those things to the wrong person. Somebody that didn't appreciate it, somebody who was only out to get you. While you were being genuine, they were being strategic, and you have to literally pay close attention to those type of people. Like I said, if you look yourself in the mirror and you don't even recognize yourself, you also have to pay close attention to your surroundings, because who you are around is literally who you become. If you hang around drug dealers, eventually you're going to start selling drugs. If you hang around alcoholics, eventually you'll be an alcoholic. If you hang around a person that don't have no money, eventually you're not going to have no money. But if you hang around a person that has a lot of money, sooner or later they're going to teach you how to go get money too. So you are who you hang around. You are who you are around. So if you're around somebody that's constantly angry all the time, that's constantly short-tempered, that is constantly just irritated and on edge, and you are going to become that person as well. If you're around somebody that's always negative, that's always gossiping, that's always picking somebody apart, that's always judgmental, that always think that they're better than everybody, eventually you're going to carry that same attitude. So pay close attention to who you associate with on a day-to-day basis. 9 times out of 10, that's you. We can sit here all day and say, no, my friend is this person. I'm completely opposite. Well, then you definitely have to take a look at yourself in the mirror, because you should not be hanging with anybody that's not like-minded like you. So if they got a husband and 5 side pieces, why are you talking to that individual? Because there is a such thing as guilty by association. Just like in real life, if you bring somebody to rob a bank, even though you sitting in the car, you're still going to get charged as well. This is another reason why people focus so hard on trying to ruin somebody's reputation or trying to make them seem like they are such a terrible person. They want people to stay far away from you, and this is why they work overtime to try to make it seem like you're not worthy of sitting in rooms with people that can actually help you go places. So we're not talking about those type of situations, because God is going to handle that. And a lot of times it seems like people are getting over. It seems like people have just gotten away with mistreating you, with using you, with abusing you. And the thing is this, everybody have to lay their head down at nighttime. People rarely get away with things. This is why I always talk to you guys about internal peace, because when you've done somebody dirty and you know that somebody was good to you and you knew that you had the ability to really be there for them and really help them, but you decided not to, when you lay your head down at night, we don't know what they're feeling in the inside. All we see is that the outside is well groomed. All we see is that their mouth talk a good game. I've heard so many stories before, and this is why I can tell you guys. I've heard so many stories before where people are completely miserable on the inside. They don't like their situation. They really wish that they wouldn't have treated you the way that they did you. But now there's no coming back. So now they have to settle. They literally have to settle for things or somebody that they really don't want. So we can't read minds. Some of us have that spiritual gift where we can read energy, where we know when someone is not really who they say they are. They know what they did to you. Okay? You were just being who you are supposed to be. Good-hearted, kind-hearted, genuine, giving somebody the shirt off your back. That's what God wants us to do. So when people call you stupid, when people say you dumb, and people say you the one that stayed and you the one that did this, you only did what your heart told you to do. And God is going to bless you for that. He's going to give you double for your trouble, triple for your trouble. And he's going to add a little favor in there too, because that's one thing about God. You ask God for one thing and he's going to multiply it. That's called favor. That's called favor. So while you're blossoming, they're going to be reaping what they sowed. So this is why it's very important to not backtrack, to not look in the past, to keep looking forward and to keep going, because you really want what God has for you. You don't want what appears to be worldly, I would say. And even though it looks like they're putting on this smile, whoever it is, it looks like they're putting on this smile. It looks like they are really genuinely happy. Again, in the inside, they're really not. They are really not happy. And if you pay really, really close attention, it shows on the outside as well. But a lot of people are blinded by the big homes, the fancy cars, and like I said, a lot of people just talk a good game, and that's really not the case. So this, you have to focus on you. You can't worry about somebody else's happiness. And like I said, you only want what God has for you. It doesn't matter what they're doing with somebody else and how they're treating somebody else. They didn't treat you well. That's the point of the matter. You should not be focused on anybody else's happiness. You should not be focused on anybody else's happiness. You should only be worried about your happiness, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You only get one life. God bless your parents to create you for this lifetime, and once it's over, it's over. So this is why we need to take care of ourselves. We need to nourish our bodies with the correct food. We need to continue working out. We need to keep oiling our skin. We need to keeping our nails, toes done. Fellas, y'all can get y'all nails and toes done too. We ain't talking about acrylics. We're talking about keep them nicely trimmed and cleaned. Okay? You can get a little clear fingernail polish. Okay? Drake do it. But this is why it's best for us to focus on our own happiness. Anytime you're worried about somebody else's happiness, you're going to be disappointed. And the only reason why you're disappointed to begin with is because you had high expectations for them and you didn't have high expectations for God. You trusted them with your happiness, with your life, with your finances, with your success, and you didn't trust God. You didn't trust God. And now you're realizing that all you're going to have in the end anyway is God, because he's our creator. He's the reason why you're here. He's the reason why you have not went homeless. He's the reason why you're not sleeping underneath a bridge. He's the reason why you're still alive, healthy, and well. He's the reason for it all. Once you realize that everything is spiritual and everything in this life we can have only if we give God our fully undivided attention, you're going to realize that you could have already been at the level of success that you've always wanted to be from the beginning. And the thing about drawing closer to God, it's like a tower. So I would say a cell phone tower. The closer you are to the tower, the better reception you have. But as soon as you start walking away from that tower, your cell phone signal will start messing up. So that's how it is with God. That's how it is with Jesus Christ. He's a tower. And as long as we draw closer to him, as long as we give our all to him, everything in our life is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We're going to have excellent signal. But the minute we turn our backs on him, and the minute we become worldly and doing things our way, we're going to lose cell phone signal, and then we get nothing at all. Or we get what Satan has for us. And Satan's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. He wants us to be stressing out about bills. He wants us to be stressing out about this relationship. He wants us to stay unhealed, so that whenever God does send us the right person for us, that we will mess it up. He wants us to be stagnant and not grow. And you have to outsmart Satan. You have to keep your business to yourself, because he's always listening. You can say a solid prayer. And even if you pray out loud, That's completely different than telling the wrong individual what you have planned in your life. Because if you have $1 million idea, all it takes is one person that talks a good game to talk you out of it and make you think that that is not what God has for you, and oh, that's not gonna work. And I don't know how many times I pitched a good idea to somebody and they told me it wasn't gonna work, and I ended up seeing a celebrity do it. Literally. So, this is why you have to draw closer to God so that you won't be confused, so that you won't get bamboozled. Because people will bamboozle you. They will have you doing just enough, or they'll have you doing all the wrong things instead of the right things. Like, for example, you're telling these same people your goals, but they are keeping you on the phone all day long. Whether you made the phone call or not, they should say, hey, don't you have some goals that you're trying to reach? You should not be spending it all day on the phone with me. We should not be gossiping. We should not be worried about the wrong things. Like, watch who you hang with, okay? You are who you hang with. If you're hanging around people that never made it far in life, and that's no shade to anybody at all, but if you're hanging around somebody that did the bare minimum, that accepted the bare minimum out of life, and you're going to them for advice to help you along your journey, 9 times out of 10, they don't have the answers, because if they did, they wouldn't be where they are. So watch who you get advice from. Watch who you get opinions from. Hey, I need your opinion on this. You have to look at how successful they are. Okay? Not necessarily saying that those people can give you good advice, but 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to be a millionaire and you're getting advice from somebody that's not even worth 6 figures, then would not recommend at all. That would be the wrong thing to do, because somewhere along the lines there's some type of financial issues going on with them, and would not recommend. So watch who you seek advice from. Watch who you hang with. Don't feel like the enemy is winning. It only looks that way, and the enemy wants you to think that they are winning. They really not. How you win is you find that internal peace and you do right by people. Genuinely do right by people. Genuinely help people that you know needs help. That's how you win. You don't win by buying things and looking nice. That's not how you win. You don't win by faking a smile. And the people that have hurt you have done those things and are doing these things. And people think that other people are slow. People really think that people are slow, but the fact of the matter is people are not slow. People really do know the truth. There's a lot of people in this world that don't have discernment and they don't have enough wisdom to be able to decipher what's real or not. But those that are connected in the spirit, those that are intelligent, they know the truth, and they always will know the truth. And people are good manipulators, but one thing about it, you can never manipulate God. You may manipulate flesh. You may manipulate people that are worldly, people that don't want to see the truth, people that have a hard time understanding the truth, believing the truth. But you will never be able to manipulate God, because He knows our thoughts. He knows our hearts. Okay? He knows that He knows when we're intentional, and He also knows when we're unintentional. And that's the beauty of walking this thing called life. That even if people paint you out to be a bad person, even if you did right by somebody and they just crapped in your face, they spit in your face, they used you, they abused you in any way, because abuse is not just physical. It could be verbal, it could be mental, it could be emotional. People know when you're a good person, and people know when you deserve better. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. Focus on your own happiness. Focus on your closeness to God, and everything will eventually fall into place. It may not look like it right now, but just keep going. I don't care how low you get. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like to the people that hurt you. Keep going. And always remember that nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same, okay?